Good morning, everyone. How you doing? The title of this particular live session, again, we do this every day, usually before 7:30, Monday through Monday, 7 days a week, every day of the year. Again, thank you, Gary V and Nipsey Hussle, for the inspiration. The title of this one is, something like this is the first recession caused by a massive investment in public health. Our Fed chair kind of uttered that. And first, I actually thought he was kind of like, trying to spin something. But the more I thought about it, I think he's absolutely right. And you know, I don't know the man from anything, but I think when you look at what's being done today, right? I'm in California. It's on total lockdown. We actually saw a alert come across that San Jose, which is the closest big police force, I guess, is going to start instituting, stay home, right? So they're patrolling the freeways and the like. So this is getting real. They're really starting to flatten the curve. We're also seeing increased messages from folks in the healthcare industry that it's getting pretty wild. They're working 24-hour shifts. They're very low on supplies. This big wave that we've all been, or some of us have been thinking is not coming. It's unfortunately hitting our healthcare system, and like a tsunami, I think this is the early waves, given how long and how far we're behind. So, if you have anybody out there that you can help support in the healthcare industry, nurses, doctors, I'm not even sure whoever's involved, see if you can help them watch their kids, make them food or dinner, or something. Right? We've got to help these folks. They're putting their lives on the line and their families' lives on the line for us. So let's not forget that. One thing I do want to ask, something I did, I think 2 days ago, is I hung my American flag outside on my house. Wherever you're watching this, whether you're in the U.S. or any other country, and you have your country's flag, let's hang it outside. I got this idea when I was trying to think about what's going on today versus other events I've lived through, and 9/11 was kind of like this, where it came out of nowhere and it required us to band together, and it was a special time. But one of my most vivid memories is all the flags that were hanging out in front of the houses for seemingly months. So let's tell this stupid little bug that we're not gonna shrink from it. We're gonna be in it together. And if you have it, take your flag of your country wherever you happen to be, and hang it outside. Hang it outside proudly. Um, Show some national support, and let's get through this together. So next up, lots of things to talk about. It looks like Emirates Airlines is the first airlines to ground its planes by itself. At some point, why do you keep doing it, right? If you're losing money on every flight, ground the planes, right? It's kind of like rule number one of a small business. If you're not getting enough food at certain parts, or not selling enough stuff during the day, you shut it down at some days. So I am personally shocked and disappointed we haven't grounded all aircraft, all flights, right? Except emergency and supplies and all of that. I guess passenger flights, I should be pretty clear, passenger flights. Because as you can see across the world now, we have some countries that are coming out the other side that are actually reporting new cases, but they're quote unquote imported. So let's stop this. Let's start healing and get after it. I do want to say again and remind you, I'll probably do another video this evening, that next week's numbers are going to be so bad. So bad. So bad. Especially Thursday's new claims number. I mean, I think it's going to be over 2 million. And let's not forget, the week after that could actually be worse. How frightening is that? I mean, we've asked 30%, 40% of our industries to shut down. So it's going to be bad. Also, we're going to start to see growth in cases probably pretty quickly, both in, you know, low key, but also severe. I mean, just the notes I'm seeing from people in healthcare is it's pretty frightening. So let's see. Let's just know it's coming. Let's not be surprised. Let's take it in stride. I got to say, we've got to get to the worst number so we can heal. So frankly, the faster we get there, faster we get out of this. So that's important to understand. Another thing that I think we've got to stop doing, and I hate, it's all the people on TV that think they're experts. This 2020 crash has almost nothing to do and similar to 2008. Nothing. This is a Main Street problem. We have crushed supply and demand. We have constricted supply and demand. That's nothing like 2008. The you know, how long it took to get here versus 2008, nothing even close, right? We went 30% down in, what was it, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. 2008 was like 16 months or something. There's just nothing the same. The one thing that we have to watch out for, and this is pretty important, I may do a separate kind of conversation on this later, is 2008 had what I call a negative feedback loop, right? Bad loans were the problem, but once those bad loans went bust, people foreclosed, banks dropped prices, more people lost money, and it was a very, very negative feedback loop. The reason the federal government is going to be sending out $1 trillion here very soon is because they have to stop the negative feedback loop. If we don't stop the negative feedback loop, we will have a depression. We will have 25 to 30% unemployment. We'll be in a country in disarray, right? Because what happens if people don't have money, they don't pay rent, apartments and houses get foreclosed, they don't pay car notes, people take back car notes. It's the Great Depression all over again, and it will take a long, long time to heal from that. So realize that is it's not okay, right? We have to stop this. The hangover will be bad, inflation, probably higher taxes, things like that. But if we have a negative feedback loop, it's over, game over. And I think the powers that be that see that will see. Again, I put out my sample presidential address yesterday morning. I couldn't get it out of my head, so I had to do it. I hope we have one tonight. He's got to do one tonight. Got to. We have to tell the American people that out of what there's so much panic. Oh, it's going to be so bad. Did you see? We're starting to have some good news on the treatment, identification, and vaccine front. So this one first is on a identification. I fully expect good news on vaccine and treatment in the coming months. We have, I'm sure, the top 10,000 smartest people trying to beat this freaking thing. But this one is the FDA approved a 45-minute test for emergency use. I'm guessing they're calling it emergency use just to protect them because they approved this in record time. But I don't know about you, but all these tests seems to take 2, 5, 7 days, have to be mailed around the country. To have a test that can be done in 45 minutes at the point of interaction, that seems like a game changer to me. We get out of this, really out of this, when we can identify who has the virus and tell them to stay the ass home. That's when we get out of this. So 45 minutes, that's such a cool thing. Now we just got to make a shit ton of them and get it out everywhere. But, step one, you got something. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you saw this, but there are, what do they call them? Startup investors, really anybody investing. And this goes for your business as well. Your home business, right? How you run your business at home, pay your bills, all of that. They're saying scrap long-term plans. This is, again, a startup investor to their own companies. Stop talking about 2025, 2030. Your job is to get through the next 90 days. So, again, this is what I told you was going to happen, right? I told you about the company I was at that we had filed IPO paperwork. We were going to be going out probably in the next 2 months, and then 9/11 happened, and we were toast. Business stopped. We had to lay off half the company, and we were sold 9 months later. That's happening. And that's why I think the Silicon Valley and this tech stock still have a leg down. I think the broader market has had the leg down, but I don't think tech has. So it's gonna the Silicon Valley still has a lot of pain to feel, I think. So we'll see. In the end, again, do me a favor, wherever you're watching this, whatever your country of origin, do me a favor, hang your flag outside. Let's get some national pride going. Let's show everybody we're in this together. It's just a nice symbol. I remember feeling good when I walked around after 9/11 and seeing flags seemingly on everybody's house. And um, I think we need a little good news heading into next week. But again, I am not trying to scare you. I see next week and the week after as pivotal. The only way through is you got to get to the bottom so we can get back. I think the next 2 weeks will be very telling. They've got to approve this $1 trillion spending or $2 trillion or $3 trillion by Thursday morning, preferably earlier. If they don't approve it by Thursday and that unemployment claim comes out, not good. Not good. So that's what I have for today. It is Sunday. That means I need to do my goals. I'm doing an interview about a lender who's doing a lot of real estate loans. The world changed last week, like I told you it would. So he's going to tell me what that looks like. I am also going to probably create a video for what you should be doing the next 30 or 60 days. I see a lot of folks out there working from home now. But many of you are doing unhealthy things, right? How much time are you watching TV, right? How much time are you spending just focused on all the negative news? You gotta come out of this stronger, right? That's the key, right? We're all going to survive this, or 99.9% of us are going to survive this if you're watching this channel. And do you want to come out weaker or stronger? Because we will get through this, I promise, and there will be opportunities out there. But don't gain 10 pounds while you're sitting at home, right? Do something, right? Don't watch TV all the time, right? If you want to have movie night and make it special, go for it. But read some books, better yourself, do something. And again, let's get through this together. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. We will, of course, do this tomorrow morning. I'm going to get ready for my interview. Bye.